Morning, you lovely lot. Right, I am going, can I say morning? Yeah, just. Right, so I am going to just go over the FITT principle now. So this links in with the other rest of the principles of training, okay? And it's how we improve performance or how we increase training. So we've got frequency, intensity, time, and type. So frequency is how often we train. So how frequently you train depends on your ability and fitness levels. To increase fitness, you can increase the number of times you train per week. So instead of maybe just going to netball training once, you might go twice, 3 times. But if you train too often, it can lead to an injury. You've got to give yourself time to recover, or your body time to recover. So if a person trains 3 times a week and wants to increase their fitness, how could they use frequency to do this? So it is a simple question. It's not a trick question. Okay, you remember, again, you can pause and stop, take notes on what you think is important, all right? The second one is intensity. So this is how hard we train, how intense it is, how hard we train. So fitness can only be gained if the body systems work hard enough so they have to adapt. So if you just train like a gentle jog every time and you find it really easy, you're never going to gain more fitness. You will maintain fitness, but you will not gain any fitness, okay? So you have to push those body systems harder. So you have to train harder. Athletes must start at the right intensity depending on your current fitness. So there's no point, if you're already fantastic at running 5 kilometres, there's no point training doing 3. Okay, so you need to make sure you're at least at the right intensity depending on your current fitness levels. So it can be measured that you're working in your target zone, which is 60 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. If you remember, you might remember this from Key Stage 3, your maximum heart rate is 220 minus your age. So mine would be 192. God, I'm old. Okay, and then 60 to 80% of 192 would be my target zone. So if a person can run 1 kilometre in 7 minutes, how could they use intensity to increase their fitness? Okay, so they're still running a kilometre. How do they increase intensity? First T is time. Obviously, it's how long. So we have frequency, intensity, time. So how long we train. So each session must last at least 20 minutes in the target zone to get any benefits. So when we talk about cardiovascular fitness, you're only really seeing that if it's 20 minutes or more of exercise. Okay, so you need to be in that target zone for at least 20 minutes. The duration of training must consider intensity of the exercise for it to be effective. Okay, so they all go a bit hand in hand. So if a person goes for a jog for 30 minutes and wants to improve their fitness, how could they do it if they're just considering time? Not the others, just time. And type of training. So it's what type of training used. So it's the method of training chosen. So we'll look at methods of training next. Methods of training chosen to achieve a person's particular goals. So different types of training focus on different components of fitness. The training programme should include types of activity to develop skills and fitness needed for your sport. So we talked about specificity last time. It's got to be specific to your sport. All right, there's no point in a shot putter training by swimming. Okay, so it needs to be specific. So the question, using 2 different sports as an example, explain why different types of training are suited for different goals. So why is weight training suited for increasing power? Is an example. All right, pause, notes. Okay. Right, then we have a quiz. Now, I don't know if can you see these? I'm hoping you can. Right, there we go, that's a bit better. So question 1, what are the 4 principles of training? So sport. Which principle of training is described as matching the training to the needs of the sporting activity and individual? Try and do this without your notes, guys. How could an athlete who runs 5 kilometres 3 times a week use the principle of training to increase fitness? What is reversibility? When might reversibility take place? A shot put thrower should follow a programme that looks to increase which component of fitness in order to throw further. Okay, there might be more than one, but you need to justify why. A midfielder and a goalkeeper were trained differently. Which principle of training does this relate to? What does FITT in FITT principle stand for? So what do each letter represent? Which aspect of FITT is how often we train? Which aspect of FITT is how long we train for? Pause it. Answer those questions without looking at any notes, just see what you've already taken in. I will set a little quiz on Google Classroom next week for this, just to see what we've taken in, all right? And I will give you the 6-mark question on principles of training, all right? So answers then, so hopefully you've already paused and written them. So the 4 principles of training are specificity, progression, overload, and reversibility. Principle of training describe matching the training to the needs of the sporting individual is specificity, making it specific. Got the word in it, that's why it's that. An athlete who runs 5 kilometres 3 times a week use principle of training, so they could increase the distance gradually, or they could train more often, or they could try and run a bit faster, so to decrease how long it takes them. So what is reversibility? It's when any adaptation of training is lost due to not training. Why might reversibility take place then? So we might not be training because we're injured, or it's not the right time of year, so it's the wrong season, the off season. 7, midfielder, goalkeeper were trained differently. So that, I missed one. 6, a shot put thrower would try to improve strength. You could also have power if you wanted to, but remember that power is strength times speed, all right? Specificity is number 7. The goalkeeper and midfielder, they were trained differently even though they play the same sport. FITT principle stands for frequency, intensity, time, and type. Which aspect of FITT is how often we train? It's frequency, so how frequent we train. And which aspect of FITT is how long we train for? Time. Okay. Give yourself a mark out of 10. Pause it if you need to go over those again. Oh, it's a very poor camera angle for me. There you go. Get them in a little bit. Okay. So you will have a 6-mark question. I will put this on Google Classroom for you, okay? I will put on Google Classroom the one that was in an exam paper, okay? It was the 6-marker. However, if you want to have a go at this one as well, it's a good idea to help you really understand what the whole principles of training is about. Okay, so with sporting examples, discuss the use of the principles of training to improve fitness. So you should always have a little short introduction that addresses the question. 2 main paragraphs. So you give your point showing what knowledge you know. Remember, it's your chance to show off. This is with any 6-marker. Provide a relevant sporting example. That's your AO2 section. Okay, so state what, then relate it to a sporting example, and then explain how to analyse or evaluate a performance. So how does it affect performance? How does it help your performance? If you don't have it, what could happen? Okay, so that's really going into a lot more detail. So to get those 6 marks, you really have to go into detail, show off, and then justify why you're saying that. And then you can have a conclusion at the end. So remember that second part is 2 paragraphs. So you've got to do AO1, AO2, AO3, and then again AO1, AO2, AO3. All right. So you can have a go at that one if you would like to. Oh, there is an example, but I don't want to show you. You can have a little read of that example if you would like to. Maybe try writing it first, might help. But that's something along the right lines. So pause it if you would like to, okay? And we will carry on. We will do methods of training or types of training, and I will do that on Monday for you, okay?